Have you ever wondered if you could go full-time in a window cleaning business right out of the gate? I'm here to tell you today that it is possible as long as you do the right planning. I did it, and I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can do it too. The first step is to get everything online as optimized as you possibly can. Make sure you go for the low-hanging fruit, like the free Facebook profile or Instagram. Nextdoor is one of the must-haves today, and then Yelp and a Google business page. In tandem with that, maybe even more importantly, you need to create or have somebody else create for you a really good website. Now, really good doesn't mean that you like it a lot or that it looks pretty to you. Really good means that when people go onto the website, they're going to find the information they're looking for and want to book an appointment. I personally hired Nice Job for this. They do a really good job of having all the social proof and all the explanations of everything all in one place in a way that's very intuitive for the customer. They optimize everything for conversions. That's when the customer or the potential customer goes to your website, whether they're coming from Facebook, word of mouth, or a flyer. They get there and they see what you're about. They see the social proof, people's reviews, and they say, I need this too. And they click a button, give you their information so that you can do more marketing to them down the road for free. Or better yet, they actually give you their money and book an appointment. The second step is to build or develop a successful marketing strategy. You need a marketing strategy that works for you. That can be a combination of multiple things, but you're going to need to find at least one lever that you can pull on that gives you guaranteed leads. Whether it's Google ads or Facebook ads or direct mail postcards, door hangers, yard signs, all these different things are potential pieces within your marketing mix. At first, for me, postcards were a little bit expensive and they didn't give me the ROI that I had hoped for. I had to do some tweaking to get it more proficient. For a little while, I stalled out, and so I started getting into Google ads, which worked well for a season. The price on that started to get more expensive, so I went back towards the direct mail postcards and was able to fine-tune things to where I knew if I put a postcard out, I would at least get triple my investment, if not more. You need to experiment with multiple methods because you are different than I am, and I'm different than another person down the road is. And so the way we present ourselves, the way we talk about our company, the way we do everything in our day-to-day lives is different. And so because I'm a different avatar than you, you might need a different marketing strategy than me. But you do you and find something that can work. It's helpful anyways, especially early on, to try a few things out. Get in the laboratory, so to speak, and just test. Make sure, though, whatever you're doing for marketing, you're tracking where the leads come from. You can't always get it perfectly accurate, but every time you get a new lead into the funnel, you want to get their information, and most importantly, you want to find out how they found you. The better you become at tracking these things, the more successful you will be down the road. This helps you define what we call a marketing lever. That's simply one method of advertising or marketing that you can pull that lever and actively get leads. The more of these levers you have fine-tuned, the better you can scale in the long term. And it's always helpful to have backup things because sometimes one lever just stops working. Sometimes it might be worth your while to go ahead and find a service that can help do this for you. That way it's kind of automated and you don't have to think about it anymore once you get busy. Step 3 would be to actually acquire your first customers. As I mentioned before, the bulk of my initial customers came through postcards. But I also used Home Advisor, which is now simply Angie. Angie List bought Home Advisor and merged them together, and it's a lead generation app. A lot of the people in the window cleaning industry and home services in general really frown on it, but it can be effective, especially if you're early on without any type of an online presence or reputation. You are guaranteed to get leads. The big question mark is how many of those leads can you actually close? Because you're going to have to pay for them one way or another. The key with something like a lead generating software like Angie is that you have to be the first person to contact the customer and get them closed over the phone as quickly as possible before they even consider getting quotes from other people. Now, if you give them multiple options, put together different packages that they can choose between, they're going to be much happier with you and feel like they got to make the choice when they chose you. And they don't have to decide between three prices of three different companies. You give them the three prices yourself, and they'll choose their favorite one, being you. However you do it, find what works for you, whether it's through social media and Facebook groups, or getting on a Nextdoor and getting exposure there, or just going straight to door hangers or direct mail. However you got to do it, get some customers and get them to give you 5-star reviews. Bulk up on these as much as you can. You cannot have too many 5-star reviews. Make sure to get as many of them as you can onto Google, as this becomes social proof that your business can do the service that you're advertising in a way that makes happy customers. Now, I've obviously created multiple videos about the tools that you need to get started. As you begin to grow your customer list and have more steady flow of work, you would want to consider upgrading some of your equipment so that you can move faster. The more work you can get done in a day because of more efficient tools, the more money you can make in a day. The more money that you make, the more you can save and the more you can scale. With that being said, the early days of your business, every dollar counts. So don't overspend on equipment when you don't need it. Get the bare necessities and do whatever you can with that. As you're growing, if you have the excess budget and you can afford it, then go for it. I would usually advise to hold out on a water-fed pole until you're at least 6 months into the business, because for the first 6 months, all your customers are going to be first-time cleans, and you're going to be doing a lot of dirty work where you're going to need the steel wool and elbow grease anyways. So don't need the water-fed pole at that point. But if you've gotten a little ways into it and you can drop $3,000, no questions asked, then by all means, get that water-fed pole. It does help work go twice as fast when you're cleaning repeat work. And hopefully the customers that you've been getting, you're able to get some of them to book again in 3 months, others to book in 6 months, and at the very least to schedule out a year in advance. Now, the next step of this process is your financial planning and your marketing reinvestment. You need to set realistic financial goals. My personal goal when I got started was to make a 6-figure income within 1 year. I fell a little short, but having that goal helped push me to where I could make enough money to keep going. I knew I had to reinvest heavily into marketing to get there, and that is the biggest expense for me when I first got started, and it will be for you too. For example, printing and distributing 10,000 postcards costs around $3,500 today. Back then it was a little bit cheaper, but not by much. That might bring in $9,000 or so in revenue. There's a lot of numbers and computing that go into this, but this is just a quick example of how you can kind of come to the idea of how much you need to reinvest. If you want to keep getting customers, you're going to need to take at least a good chunk of that $9,000 that you got from those first waves of postcards and reinvest that back into marketing. If you take $3,500 out of that $9,000, then you're going to have $5,500 left over for yourself. Now that $3,500, you'll get another $9,000 back. Now, it sounds really easy, like you have a box that you put $1 in and you get $3 out. And then you put $1 in and you get $3 out. And you keep taking $2 and put $1 back. And that's somewhat true. But you have to pay yourself. And you also have to make sure somebody's doing the work. And early on, that's you. And you get to a place where you reach max capacity and you can't get more dollars back until you have the time. You might be able to get $20,000 of work, but there's no way that you can do that on your own within 1 week. You're going to get to a point where you reach your maximum capacity. Now, for me, that's between $15,000 and $20,000, depending on the season and the type of service that I'm performing the most. I make less hourly for window cleaning than I do with my other add-on services. I make more with gutter cleaning, pressure washing, and Christmas lights. But window cleaning is still my primary service. I get the most work cleaning windows, and it's the most recurring and frequent service that I offer. Once you reach that max capacity in one given month or in a set of weeks, you can kind of know your numbers, and you either coast at that level for a season and try to keep your schedule full, or you hire on help and begin training them so that they can do the work without you, and you double down on the marketing and continue to grow your business. If you're needing a lot of the income to survive, like I did, I have a wife and at the time 4 kids, now I have 6 kids, I needed as much of that money as I could possibly keep. I couldn't afford to give half of the money away to somebody who was working for me. Because of that, I sort of become my own bottleneck. You can't grow as quickly if you need to use more of the dollars that you're earning. If every $5 that you earn, you need to put $4 in your pocket, you only have 20% of your revenue to reinvest into the marketing and the growth. On the other hand, if you can live off of just $2 out of every 5, now you have more than half of your income going back into the marketing and operations of your new business. All that to say, the leaner you can keep your operation as far as your own personal expenses, the faster you can grow. Once you're ready to start scaling up, making your first hire or two, and really get the marketing machine churning, it's good to make sure that you have at least one or two of those levers on demand so that you can pull the dollars by getting more leads right away. It's also helpful if you have some type of a rainy day fund. You need to start saving now and put aside some cash so that you have enough capital to cover any marketing expenses, equipment maintenance, and personal bills for 3 to 6 months. This way, you can ride through any slow seasons or any unpredicted storms without having to break a sweat. The more cash you have access to for expanding, the easier it will go. And that brings us to the 6th step, scaling your business. I'll be able to dive deeper into this in a future video. It's something that's very challenging, but you can't really scale a business until you've gotten it started. So I hope that you've got the ammunition you need to start firing away and get your business going. The first person that you're going to want to hire is somebody who you can trust to work independently. So remember that. Your first goal when you scale should always be to get yourself off of the truck as soon as possible so that you can focus on working on your business instead of working in your business. This is when you make a transition from being self-employed to being a business owner. In conclusion, we know that going full-time with your window cleaning business is not only possible, but it's very achievable if you just set up the right systems and marketing strategies up from the beginning. Be strategic with your capital. Reinvest your cash into your growth and stay consistent with it. With the right plan, you can grow your business beyond what you would even imagine possible right now. Keep pushing, guys. You can do this. Guys, thanks again for watching the video. I love the support that I've been getting. I appreciate it very much. It motivates me to keep posting. Now, I want to let you know we do have a special community, a Patreon page. It's patreon.com/Blue Ladder, spelled BLULADDER. There's a link on my bio as well. I'd be more than happy to get to know you. Go ahead and join our group so we can communicate more.